Have you ever imagined the moment when everything you've rebuilt, every brick of courage, every day of peace, bought with distance grumbles, because a ghost from the past has decided it deserves a piece of your future? When you see through the window of your coffee shop at 9 o'clock at night, the face of the man you ran away from 18 months ago, and you realize he found you, and he didn't come to ask for forgiveness. He came to take what he thinks belongs to him. Elena Vasquez is closing. Sunrise Caf, a routine she loves, the last customer has left. Chairs already stacked on tables, the smell of coffee still lingering in the air like a comforting perfume. She cleans the counter with slow, deliberate movements, not out of laziness, but out of care. Because a 5-month pregnant belly under an apron means that every movement is calculated. Every step is protective. Every gesture carries something infinitely precious. She's turning the sign to closed when she sees it. Through the glass, across the street under a flickering streetlight, Marcus. Her heart doesn't race immediately. First, there's a moment of unreality. It can't be. Not here. Not after 18 months. Not after 8 hours of distance, and a new life and a silent promise that the past would stay where it belongs. Buried. But it is. Marcus Reed. Hair still perfectly combed. Clothes still too expensive for a small town like Millbrook. And that smile. God. That smile. She knows it all too well. The smile that always came before we need to talk code for 30 minutes, where Marcus talked and Elena absorbed criticism disguised as concern. The smile that preceded you, no, I do this because I love you, after pushing her. The smile that was there when the emergency room doctor asked, how did this happen? And Marcus answered for her. Stairs. She's always been clumsy. And now, that smile is crossing the street, heading towards the cafeteria. And Elena feels her body freeze in a Pavlovian response. 3 years of conditioning don't disappear in 18 months of freedom. She locks the door, quickly, trembling but functional hands. Latch turns. Lock clicks. Safe. But Marcus doesn't stop. He goes to the door. He puts his hand on the glass. Not knocking, just touching it, as if it were his. As if everything belonged to him. And then he pushes. The door won't open. It's locked. But pushing carries intention. Test it. Are you going to let me in? Or will I have to force my way in? Elena. Voice muffled by the glass, but perfectly audible. Open up. We need to talk. Go away, Marcus. Her voice was surprisingly firm, even when her legs were trembling. I can't. Not until we talk about the situation. We don't have a situation. We broke up over a year ago. Ah, but we do. He points to her belly. I heard you're pregnant. Blood freezes. How does he know? Who told him? How did he find out? It's none of your business. Marcus laughs. Not genuine humor. Predatory gratification. Of course it is. This baby is mine. Elena. Ours. And I came to get what belongs to me. Words destroy everything. Every illusion of security. Every promise of a fresh start. Every dream of raising a child in peace. Far from the toxicity that almost killed her. Because Marcus isn't asking. He isn't suggesting. He is declaring with the absolute conviction of a man who has never accepted no, and isn't about to start now. Stay with me until the end, because what happens when a toxic past decides it has rights over the future you've built will make you question everything about justice, about protection, and about how far someone will go to defend what is theirs. The baby isn't yours, Elena says, trying to reason with him. As if reasoning ever worked with Marcus. No. Then whose is it? That ghost man no one sees. Because I asked around Elena. I investigated. And you know what I found out? He leans closer to the glass. No one has seen you with a man since you got here. No boyfriend. No. Dates. Nothing. So either you lied about being pregnant and it being someone else's, or, his smile widens. You finally admit the truth. The truth is, it's not yours. It never was. It never will be. We'll prove it. DNA doesn't lie. And when it proves I'm the father, You'll wish you'd been more cooperative from the start. A veiled threat. Clear. Go away, Marcus, or I'll call the police. Call. Say your ex is standing in the street. See if they can arrest him. He knows. He knows exactly where the legal lines are and how to operate within them while terrorizing people. He knocks on the door. Once. Not loudly. Just a reminder. Only glass separates us. Glass breaks easily. And then, as if deciding he'd made his point, Marcus backs away. See you soon, Alina, and we'll have a proper conversation about the future. About her family. He walks away, casually, as if he hadn't just destroyed the entire foundation of the new life Alina had built. And Alina stands there, leaning against a locked door, hand on her stomach, feeling the terror that she thought she had left behind, returning and flooding the system. Because she knows Marcus. She knows the pattern. And this is just the beginning. And the worst part, she has no idea how to stop him. Because how do you fight against someone who operates within the law while destroying you psychologically? How do you protect a baby from a father who isn't the father, but is convinced he is? And when the legal system fails, and it will fail, because it always fails until it's too late, where do you run when the man who terrorized you already knows where you live? Alina stands still for minutes after Marcus disappears into the darkness. She doesn't move. She just breathes, trying to calm her heart, which is beating so hard that she feels a pulse in her neck, her temples, her fingertips. Baby kicks, small movement, reminder of why he ran away, why he rebuilt, why he can't let Marcus win this time. She finally moves, finishes, locking with hands that still tremble, turns off the lights, locks the door with obsessive care, checking it twice, 3 times. And when she goes out the back door that leads to the parking lot, she scans shadows with a hypervigilance she thought she had overcome. The car is where she left it, an old Civic she bought 6 months ago, her first car in her name, another piece of her rebuilt autonomy. She enters, locks the doors immediately, and only then allows the real tremor to begin. How did he know? How did he find out? Small town Millbrook has a population of 4,000. She thought anonymity was possible here. That 8 hours away was enough. That Marcus would never look at such a small, insignificant town. But he found it. And if he found it, it means he searched. Actively. For months. Probably. Tracking through what social media accounts she deleted, mutual connections she cut off, public business records from when she bought the coffee shop. It doesn't matter how. What matters is that he knows, and that he's here, and that he genuinely thinks that the baby is his. Except it isn't. It can't be. She and Marcus broke up 18 months ago. The baby was conceived 5 months ago. Simple math. But Marcus never let facts get in the way of the narrative he was building. If any of this has happened to you, if a toxic ex reappeared when you thought you were safe, if someone claimed rights to your life that aren't theirs, share in the comments. Because these experiences matter, and you're not alone in this fight. Alina drives home. Small apartment above the coffee shop, 1 bedroom, tiny kitchen, but it's hers. Every inch paid for with honest work. Every piece of furniture chosen by her, not by a controlling boyfriend saying this looks better, or you have terrible taste. She climbs the outside stairs, key in the door, and when she enters, her first instinct is to check, windows locked, curtains closed, door with a chain in. Addition to the latch, paranoid, maybe, or learned through experience. She sits on the edge of the bed, picks up the phone. She wants to call, whom? Mother. They haven't spoken in years. Mother never understood why Alina gave up on Marcus. He gave you a good life, she said, as if a big house compensated for constant fear. Friends, she left them all behind when she ran away. Starting over meant cutting ties that Marcus could trace. Police? And what do they say? My ex showed up and stayed in the street. He didn't do anything illegal, but I'm scared. She already knows how this conversation ends, with a board officer saying call if he threatens directly, as if threat were just specific words, not presence with a history of violence. Alina lies down. She doesn't sleep. She just stays there with her hand on her belly, feeling the baby move, and silently promising herself, I will protect you. I don't know how, but I will. If this part resonated with you, if you felt the weight of this, loneliness of being in danger but without a system to help, of wanting to protect but not knowing how leave alike. Because this engagement shows me that stories like this matter, that they need to be told. Morning arrives. Alina hasn't rested, but she gets up anyway. The cafeteria doesn't manage itself. And more importantly, it can't show weakness. Marcus feeds on fear. He always has. She goes downstairs. The cafeteria opens at 6, as usual. Diane, the employee who helps out in the mornings, arrives 15 minutes later. Good morning. How are you? Wait, are you okay? Diane stops, looks closer. Alina, did you sleep? Tough night, baby kicking a lot, a white lie. Ah, I understand. My sister had that in her 3rd trimester. Constant, sit down, I'm going to make the first batch of coffee. Alina silently thanks Diane for not asking more questions, for accepting a superficial explanation. Because, as she explains, a ghost from my past appeared yesterday, and now I don't know if I'm safe in the place I built. Customers start arriving. Familiar routine. Coffee, toast, light conversation. Millbrook is a town where everyone knows everyone, where coffee shops are social meeting points, not just business. And Alina loves that. Loved it. The day before yesterday. Now, every time the doorbell rings, she jumps. Every time a customer enters, she checks. Is it Marcus? Has he returned? At 8:30, the bell rings again. Alina looks automatically. It's not Marcus. He's a man in uniform. Sheriff. She recognizes him. He often comes for morning coffee. Always polite. Always punctual. James something. Thornton. Yes, Sheriff Thornton. He approaches the counter. Good morning, Alina. Good morning, Sheriff. The usual. Please. He watches her prepare coffee. And then, are you all right? You seem tense. Alina forces a smile. Just tired. Baby doesn't let me sleep much. I understand. But something in his expression says he doesn't completely believe it. If you need anything at all, the department is available. A generic offer, standard practice. But something in his tone genuineness makes Alina pause. Actually, she begins. Then she stops. What are you going to say? That your ex showed up? That you're scared, but there's no evidence of a crime? Really? He gently encourages. Nothing. Just, thank you for asking. James gets his coffee. He pays. But before leaving, he places his business card on the counter. My direct number. If you need anything, really? And he leaves. Alina takes the card. Look, Sheriff James Thornton, Millbrook Police Department. She keeps it in her apron pocket. She probably won't use it. It's probably pointless. But for the first time since Marcus appeared, she feels a small spark of something resembling hope. If you want to see more stories like this, stories about women rebuilding their lives, about former addicts who refuse to accept loss of control, about protection coming from unexpected places, subscribe to the channel. Because what comes next will show you that sometimes all a person in danger needs is someone who truly sees them. The day goes on. Customers come and go. And at 2 in the afternoon, when the activity slows down, Alina goes to the bathroom. She washes her face with cold water. She looks in the mirror. She sees a tired woman, pregnant, scared, but also a survivor, because she ran away once, she rebuilt once, and if she needs to do it again, she will. But she doesn't want to. You shouldn't have to, because this Millbrook coffee shop, small apartment, customers who know her name is Thaddeus Marcus, has no right to take it away. Alina returns to the balcony, and that's when she sees, through the window, Marcus. Again, same place, same position, just watching, not doing anything illegal. just existing in the public space with my eyes fixed on her. Silent threat, clear. I'm here. I know where you work. I know your routine. And you can't stop me because I'm not doing anything wrong. Technically, Alina feels nausea rising, and this time, she picks up the card the sheriff left. You might need help sooner than you thought. Now I want to delve even deeper into this subject. Because, to understand why Marcus's presence destroys everything Alina has built, you need to understand who she was before Millbrook, before the coffee shop, before she became the person who looks over her shoulder every time a door opens. You need to understand the journey of transformation that took 18 months in, that Marcus is trying to erase in days. Elena Vasquez, 28 years old, 5 months pregnant. But 18 months ago, she was a different person. Or rather, she wasn't a complete person. She was a fragment, a shadow, an extension of Marcus Reed instead of an autonomous human being. 18 months ago, Alina owned nothing. Not the coffee shop where she now works. Not the opinion on what to wear, what to eat, who to talk to. Certainly not the body that Marcus treated as property territory. He marked with possessiveness, disguised as love. She was just Marcus's girlfriend, an identity defined entirely by the relationship. And Marcus Reed was everything she wasn't. Successful, confident, charming in a way that made entire rooms gravitate toward him. When they met 4.5 years ago, at a networking event where Alina was working, serving canapes, though Marcus chose her. Just like that, he saw through the crowded room, decided he wanted her, and conquered her with the efficiency of a seasoned predator. Flowers the next day. For the most beautiful waitress I've ever seen. Phone call. Dinner. I promise that this time you won't be serving, you'll be served. A charm that seemed like something out of a movie romance. Mind you, Alina-20-4, alone in a big city, working 3 jobs to pay rent, had never experienced anything like it. First year was perfect. Textbook romance. Marcus took her to expensive restaurants. He bought her clothes she could never afford. He introduced her to influential friends. And slowly, so slowly, that Alina barely noticed it, began to take shape. That dress is beautiful, but perhaps too revealing. I don't want other men looking at what's mine. Working as a waitress is temporary, right? I can take care of you. You don't need to stress. Her friends are intense, always complaining about boyfriends. I don't want that negativity to affect our relationship. Every change justified as love, as protection, as care, and Alina accepted. Because Marcus was successful, and she was a waitress. Marcus knew how the world worked, and she was just trying to survive. Marcus loved her, and love meant trust, right? So she stopped working, temporarily, which turned out to be permanent. She stopped seeing her friends, only until the relationship stabilizes, which turned into complete isolation. He stopped visiting family. They never liked me. Why create tension? And each decision withdrawn became an additional burden. Until after 2 years in the relationship, Alina woke up and realized she had no job, no money of her own, no friends, no identity beyond Marcus's girlfriend. And then control turned into violence. The first push came after a discussion about her wanting to go back to work. You don't need to work. I provide. Why isn't that enough? It's not about money. It's about having something of my own. Something your everything you have is because we gave it. This house. Mine. Clothes. Mine. Food. Mine. You have nothing of your own because without me, you and nothing. And he pushed. Not hard. Just a push. But the message was clear. It raises questions, and there are physical consequences. Alina downplayed it. He was stressed. Hard work. I didn't mean to. The second push came a month later. An argument about her wanting to visit her mother. Third came without discussion. Just Marcus, annoyed by a bad day, and Alina on the wrong path at the wrong time. And then came the night that changed everything. Alina mentioned casually, she thought that perhaps they should take a break. space, that the relationship was feeling heavy. Marcus didn't yell. Worse, he froze. Controlled. You want to leave? Leave everything I gave you, everything I built for you. I just think we need. He grabbed her. Not gently. He gripped her wrists so tightly, they left marks. He pushed her against the wall and looked at her with eyes devoid of humanity. Just cold. Possessiveness. You're not going anywhere. Understand? You are. My end. If you try to leave, I guarantee you'll regret it. And in that moment, her wrists aching, her back against a cold wall, looking into the eyes of the man she thought she loved, Linnea saw her own death. Not immediate, but eventual. Because Marcus was going to escalate. Violence always escalates. And the next step would be a blow she wouldn't survive. So she did the only thing she could. She waited for him to fall asleep. She took his keys because the car was in his name. She took the money. She found $300 in his wallet. She grabbed a small suitcase and threw in what she could. And he ran away. 3 a.m. He drove with hands trembling so much, he almost crashed twice. No destination, just movement. Far away. He stopped at a gas station 8 hours later. He used Marcus's money to fill up the tank. And he saw a map on the wall. Millbrook. Small town. Population 4,000. A place Marcus would never look at. She drove there. She arrived with less than $50, clothes on her back, and zero plan beyond that. Survive. He found a room to rent. Weekly. Cheap, because it was a tiny room in the house of an elderly lady who needed extra income. She found work. Sunrise Cafe was hiring. The owner, Martha, 68 years old, soon to retire, hired Alina on the spot. Need a fresh start? Everyone does sometimes. Alina worked hard. Double shifts when possible. She saved obsessively. Every dollar that didn't go to rent or food went into savings, because she had a plan to buy something, to own something, to be the owner of something Marcus couldn't take away. And 6 months ago, when Martha decided to sell her coffee shop and retire, Alina made her an offer, $22,000. Every penny she had saved in a year. Martha accepted. It's yours, dear. Take good care of it. And for the first time in her adult life, Alina was in as a business, as a source of income, as an identity that didn't depend on a man. Sunrise Cafe. Owner, Alina Vasquez. Name on the door. Name on the tax bill. Name that meant, I exist. Independent. Complete. The transformation was slow, painful, but real. And then, 3 months ago, came the pregnancy. Unplanned. Alina had gone to a support group for survivors of abusive relationships, a weekly meeting at the local church, a place where she could talk about Marcus without judgment. She met Daniel, also a survivor, in a relationship with a woman who controlled, manipulated, and destroyed him. They talked after a meeting. Coffee turned into dinner. Dinner turned into a night where both sought comfort in someone who understood. It was their only meeting. Daniel disappeared the following week. He went back to his hometown. Someone said. Alina had no way to contact him. 6 weeks later, a pregnancy test showed 2 lines. Alina cried. Not from sadness. From fear. How do you raise a baby alone? How do you ensure you don't replicate toxic cycles? How do you protect a child from a world that failed to protect them? But then the decision, she's going to do it, alone. Because alone is better than toxic. Alone means her child grows up seeing a strong, independent mother, in control of her own life. It won't be easy, but it will be hers. She tells her close friends, the few she's made in Millbrook. Diane, a coworker, Pastor Mike from the support group, Martha, who still stops by weekly for coffee, and gossip travels. Small town, Alina. From Sunrise is pregnant. Who's the father? Nobody knows. She won't talk. Mysterious, but respectful. Because Millbrook is the kind of town where people take care of their own without being overly judgmental, and Alina thinks she's safe. Marcus is in the past, 8 hours and 18 months away. He doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know about the baby. He has no reason to look for him. But the universe is cruel, and secrets leak out. Former colleague posts photo on Facebook, visiting Millbrook, charming little town, with Alina visible in the background, belly visible. Someone tags, someone comments. The algorithm does the work, and Marcus sees and decides, Alina is pregnant. The baby must be mine, and I'm going to get them. The math doesn't add up. He knows they broke up 18 months ago. But Marcus never let logic get in the way of his narrative. Then he appears, and with his appearance, he destroys the illusion of security that Alina built, brick by brick. Because the past doesn't stay in the past when a predator decides it has rights over your future. Comment below. This makes sense to me. Now I want to delve even deeper into this subject. Because what makes Elena's situation so devastatingly impossible isn't just that Marcus is back. It's that when she tries to ask for help, when she finally gathers the courage to expose her vulnerability and admit she's in danger, the world fails her, systematically, completely, in ways that make her question her own sanity. The morning after the confrontation at the cafeteria, Alina goes to the police station, a small brick building on the corner of Main and Cedar. 2 patrol cars parked there. A faded sign, Millbrook Police Department, protecting and serving since 1952. She enters. The reception desk is empty. There's a bell with a sign that reads, "Ring for assistance." Alina plays. A metallic sound echoes in the small space. The back door opens. Deputy Morris emerges, a man in his 50s, a prominent belly over his utility belt, coffee in hand, an expression of someone who has been interrupted from something more important, which was probably just sitting down. "Can I help?" Tom suggests he'd prefer not to. "I need to report." The situation, Alina hesitates. How would she describe it? "My ex-boyfriend showed up yesterday, demanding rights over the baby. He was abusive when we were together, violent, and I'm afraid it's going to escalate." Maurice takes a sip of coffee. "Did he threaten you?" "Directly. Not with specific words. But, did he touch you? Push you? Physically assault you?" "Not yesterday. But in the past." "How past? 18 months? Did you file a report card back then?" "No. I ran away. I came here to escape him." Morris sighs. The kind of sigh that clearly says, another case of a dramatic woman exaggerating the situation. "Ms. Vasquez, I understand that relationships end badly. But without direct threats or recent violence, we can't do much. A restraining order requires a documented incident within the last 6 months. But his presence is a threat. He knows where I work, where I live. And he's saying the baby is his, when it's not. This is a civil matter. Paternity, custody, not a police matter." Maurice places coffee on the counter. "If the baby is biologically his, he has rights. If not, a DNA test proves it. The legal system resolves it. But he's going to use the system to terrorize me, to maintain control. He's always done that, so you hire a lawyer. You deal with it through the appropriate channels. But the police can't interfere in a domestic dispute without evidence of a crime. What if he escalates? What if the violence that was normal in the past returns? Then you call 911 immediately. We document it, and we act." Morris takes his coffee back. "But preventively, without a concrete incident, my hands are tied. The system works in response, not prevention. The system works in response. Code 4. Come back after he hurts you. Then we can help." Maybe Elena leaves that police station feeling weighed down by futility. The legal system doesn't protect. It only reacts. And the reaction always comes too late. She tries the next option. Friends, well, friend. Singular. Diane is the only person in Millbrook that Elena considers a real friend. They've worked together for years. They've shared shifts, confidences, moments of vulnerability. Diane knows superficially about Elena's past. Bad relationship. I needed to leave, so. That afternoon, when the activity in the cafeteria thins out, Elena pulls Diane aside. I need to say something. My ex, Marcus, he showed up yesterday. He says the baby is his. Diane's eyes widened. Wait, the baby's father is back? No, Marcus, it is not the father. We broke up over a year ago. But he's convinced the baby is his. And Diane, he's dangerous. He was abusive, violent, and I'm scared. Diane places her hand on Elena's shoulder, a comforting gesture. But then she says, Elena, maybe he really has changed. People change. And if he wants to be involved in the baby's life, maybe that's a good thing. A child needs a father. Words hit like a physical punch. You don't understand. He hasn't changed. Men like Marcus don't change. They just get better at hiding it. But you shouldn't deny your child a father just because your relationship didn't work out. That's not fair to the baby. It didn't work. Elena's voice rises. Diane, he pushed me against walls. Isolated me from everyone. He made me feel like I was crazy, inadequate, nothing without him. This isn't not working out. This is abuse. I know, and I'm sorry, but babies deserve both parents when possible. And if Marcus is willing, he's not willing out of love. He's willing because he can't accept that I left. Because control is more important than real fatherhood. Diane remains silent, uncomfortable. Maybe you should talk to a therapist. Process your feelings about him before making any big decisions. Gaslighting, gentle. The problem isn't Marcus. It's how Elena perceives Marcus. Elena stops trying to explain. Because Diane Whelm, meaning privileged to have never experienced coercive control, can't understand. And explaining to someone who hasn't lived it is like describing color to a blind person. Third attempt, lawyer. Elena searches for Millbrook family lawyer. She finds two. One doesn't answer the phone. Another Janet Morrison, small office above a hardware free consultation. Elena leaves. The waiting room is a generic waiting room. Uncomfortable chairs, old magazines, a receptionist who barely looks up. Janet is a woman in her 40s, competent but clearly overwhelmed. Piles of papers on her desk. The phone ringing constantly. Ms. Vasquez, I understand you need help with a custody issue. Not exactly custody. Protection. My ex showed up saying the baby is his. It's not. But he was abusive, and I'm scared. Do you have a restraining order? Against him? No. I tried to get it. Police said I need a recent incident, but he's just showing up, calling, sending flowers. Nothing technically illegal, but combined, it's terrifying. Janet takes notes. I understand. But legally, without documented threats or recent violence, there's no basis for a restraining order. The system requires concrete evidence, but his history, a record from 18 months ago, in another jurisdiction without a formal report, is not admissible evidence for an emergency order. Janet is gentle, but firm. Here's the reality. If it escalates, there's a physical incident, a direct threat, an intrusion, then you come back. We document it. And I have solid grounds for a restraining order, so I wait until he hurts me. Unfortunately, the system doesn't work that way preventively. It requires concrete action before legal action. Elena feels despair growing. What about his rights? He's saying he's the father he can claim. He can request a paternity test. If the test proves he's not the father, the claim ends. If it proves he is, Janet pauses. Then he has rights, and the court decides custody based on the best interests of the child. But the baby isn't his. Then the test proves it, and the problem is solved. Except the problem won't be solved. Because even with the test proving Marcus isn't the father, he won't give up. He'll find another way to maintain control. Men like Marcus always do. Elena leaves that office, understanding a brutal truth. She is alone. The system only helps after the damage is irreversible, and Marcus understands the system perfectly. He knows exactly where the legal lines are, and how to operate within them while terrorizing. He shows up at the coffee shop. He doesn't come in, that would be trespassing, a crime Elena could report. He just stays across the street, always in the same spot, under the awning of the hardware store, where he can see directly through the windows, observing, hours at a time, doing nothing, just existing, with fixed gazes. Customers notice. Who is that man? Why is he looking this way? Should we call the police? And Alina has to explain. Ex-boyfriend. Complicated situation. But he's not doing anything illegal. Word spreads. Small town. Alina has a stalker. Obsessive ex. Poor thing. It's a shame. But no action is being taken. Because what can they do? He's in a public place. Marcus calls. Elena's phone rings constantly. She stops answering. Then he leaves messages. Alina, we need to talk. About her son. Ignoring it doesn't change the facts. I'm a father. I have rights. You've always been stubborn. But eventually, you'll accept reality. No direct threat. Nothing Alina could take to the police. Just psychological persistence. He sends flowers, red roses, card, to the future mother of my child. We're going to be a family, Alina. Whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not. Almost a threat, but not. Technically, Alina throws the flowers away, but she keeps the card. Evidence of what? Of a man sending a gift. All these isolated acts. Legal. Innocent, even. Man standing in a public street. Calls to ex. Flowers. Nothing criminal. But what about combinations? It's a meticulous campaign of psychological terror. A systematic erosion of the sense of security. And nobody acts. Because Marcus is careful. Charming when he meets officers. Just trying to be involved in my son's life. Mom is being difficult. And Alina is a pregnant, single woman who seems paranoid about her ex and just wants to do the right thing. The system fails completely. Now I want to delve even deeper into this subject. Because the moment where James Thornton relives not just as a shopkeeper serving coffee, but as someone in real dangers, a turning point for both of them. And to understand the impact of that decision, you need to understand who James is, what he carries within him, why he notices signs that others ignore. Sheriff James Thornton, 42 years old, born and raised in Millbrook. 20 years in the department. He started as a deputy at 22, promoted to sheriff 5 years ago. He knows the city like the back of his hand. Every street, every family, every secret that small towns keep. And he knows Alina. Not intimately, not personally, but like he knows most local shopkeepers. Brief conversations over morning coffee. A wave on the street when he patrols. A familiar presence. In a city ecosystem where everyone is part of a connected fabric, Alina has always been nice, reserved, yes, not the type to share her life story with strangers, but she always smiles when serving customers. Her genuine kindness makes regulars come back, not just for coffee, but for the atmosphere she creates. James noticed a change 2 weeks ago, subtle at first. Alina checks around more often. She looks at the door every time the bell rings. She jumps when someone approaches the balcony. Without warning, then, not so subtle. Hands tremble slightly as she pours coffee. Deep, dark circles under her eyes. A forced smile that fails to express herself. James notices because noticing is his job. 20 years have trained him to read body language, recognize danger signs, and perceive when something is wrong, even when no one is saying anything. But she also notices because she recognizes it, because she's seen these signs before. In a friend's wife who was being abused, in a neighbor who had an ex-stalker, and countless domestic calls where the victim showed terror even when verbally denying it. So one Thursday morning up, cold early December day, gray skies promising snow, James stops at sunrise for his usual coffee, 7:15. Routine. Alina is alone cleaning tables. Diane hasn't arrived yet. And the cafeteria is empty except for James and Mr. Johnson in the corner reading the newspaper. James orders coffee. The usual, sure. 1 minute, Alina turns to the coffee machine. And James observes, professionally at first. Then with growing concern, she's thinner, not healthily thin, stress thin. Her face has constant tension, and her belly 5 months pregnant seems larger, in contrast to the rest of her body losing weight. She pours coffee. Her hand trembles slightly. The liquid almost spills. "Sorry," she murmurs. "Tough morning." "No problem." James pays. And then, through the window, he sees a man across the street, standing under the awning of the Hardware store, not doing anything technically suspicious, just standing, staring fixedly through the windows of the coffee shop, directly at Alina. James studies for seconds. The man is in his 30s, well-dressed. His posture suggests confidence, and his gaze is one that James recognizes, calculated, predatory. Elena has her back to me. She can't see yet, but when she turns to get sugar, her eyes wander over the window, and it freezes. No casual pause. Total freeze. Entire. Body tensing. Breath stopping. The reaction of prey that has spotted a predator. The man sees the reaction and smiles. Small. Satisfied. "I see you. I scared you. Point proven." Then, casually, he turns and walks away, walking slowly, without haste. Alina finally breathes. A long exhalation that seems to have been held for minutes. Her hand goes to the counter, steadying itself. James saw everything, and he recognizes patterns instantly. Stalker, ex, abuser, who doesn't accept separation. He approaches the counter. His voice is gentle, not threatening. "Alina, do you know that man?" She looks up, surprised. She hadn't expected anyone to notice. "Yeah. Nobody. Just someone I knew." "Does he worry you?" Hesitation. Alina assesses, can you trust it? Will it help or minimize like all the others? He shouldn't. I mean, he's not doing anything illegal. He's just standing in a public place. I didn't ask if it's illegal. James maintains a neutral tone. Factual. I asked if it worries you. A subtle but significant difference. Because it validates her fear without requiring legal justification. Without asking for proof of a crime. Simply, your fear matters. Period. And something about this validation causes Elena's defenses to crumble. It's my ex, Marcus Reed. He showed up 2 weeks ago. He says the baby is his. It's not we broke up over a year ago. But he doesn't take no for an answer, easily. He never has. Did he threaten you? Not directly. Not with specific words. But Marcus doesn't need to. He just shows up. Across the street, every day, different times, always watching, and calls constantly. And sends flowers with cards that say let's be family. Always within legal limits, technically. But his presence is a threat. Because you know his history. You know what he's capable of. Yes. An audible relief in her voice. Finally, someone understands. James pulls out the small notebook he always carries. Does he live here in Millbrook? No, Rockport. 3 hours from here. But show up. 3-4 times a week. And did you report it to the department? Elena's expression hardens slightly. I spoke with Deputy Morris. He said that without a direct threat or recent violence, there's no basis for a restraining order. That I should simply not answer if Marcus calls. James feels familiar irritation. Morris is competent for traffic violations, vandalism, basic public disturbance, but domestic violence, stalking, coercive, control. He has no training, no sensitivity, and he often does more harm by downplaying it. Deputy Morris is technically correct about the restraining order. It requires documented incident. James chooses his words carefully. But there are other forms of protection, documentation, increased patrols, and he pauses the attention of someone who understands that a threat doesn't wait for a physical incident to become real. Alina looks at him, really looks, assessing him. Why do you? Kara, you don't even know me. I know enough. I've seen you every day for years. I've seen change in the last few weeks. And I've worked long enough to recognize the signs of someone under threat. James keeps a notebook. And Alina, I can do something Morris didn't do. I can believe you without demanding photographic evidence. Tears welled up in her eyes. Thank you. No one else. Everyone says I'm exaggerating. That maybe Marcus has changed. That I should give him a chance because of the baby. The baby isn't his. No. We broke up 18 months ago. The baby was conceived 5 months ago. The math is clear, but Marcus is convinced, or pretends to be. Because control matters more than facts. James is processing this. And biological father. He's not in the photo. One-time encounter. He disappeared before I knew about the pregnancy. I have no way to contact him. Then Marcus will claim paternity. Request a DNA test. Use the legal system as evidence of continued harassment. Exactly. Alina quickly wipes her eyes. And everyone will say, he's just exercising his rights. When the truth is, he's using the baby as an excuse to maintain control. I know, I've seen this pattern before. James makes a decision. He crosses the line from strict protocol to personal involvement. Alina, I'll be honest. The legal system is slow, reactive, and often arrives late. But there are things I can do informally. Increased patrolling in this area. Regular checks. And if Marcus shows up again, document it. Build a record of obsessive behavior that eventually supports a restraining order. Would you do that? I'm already doing it. I just documented his presence today. Time, location, behavior, and I will continue documenting every appearance. Eyewitness Alina almost collapsed with relief. Thank you. You have no idea how much. No one else believed me. Everyone acted like I was paranoid. You're not paranoid. You're the victim of a calculated campaign of psychological terror. And you deserve protection, even if the system doesn't formally recognize it yet. James writes his number on a piece of paper. My personal cell phone. Anything emerition, threatening call. Anything you call. No matter the time. Understood. Alina grabs the paper as if it were salvation. Understood. And at that moment, something changes. Alina is no longer completely alone. And James is no longer just a professional observer. He cares, personally, in ways that go beyond the sheriff's duty. Comment below. This makes sense to me. Now, I want to delve even deeper into this subject. Because the event that truly connects James and Alina, that transforms professional attention into personal protection, doesn't happen during a calm conversation over coffee. It happens in a moment of crisis, when threats become confrontation, when words turn into action, and when James has to decide, observe from afar or intervene directly. It's Friday night, 9 o'clock. Is closing the coffee shop. A familiar routine she's been doing for months. The last customer left 15 minutes ago. Chairs already stacked, floor swept, coffee machine cleaned and turned off. All that's left is to lock the door and go upstairs to her apartment. She's turning the sign to closed when she sees a reflection in the glass. Someone approaching. Quick, determined. Marcus. Not across the street this time. Not observing from a safe distance. He's coming straight for the door. And the expression on his face isn't his usual calculated smile. It's something darker. More intense. Alina locks the door. Quickly. Fingers fumbling with the key, but managing latch turns. Lock clicks. Marcus arrives. He puts his hand on the door. It's locked, and he knocks. Not lightly. Hard. A flat blow of his hand against the glass makes a hollow sound. Alina, open up. We need to talk. Go away, Marcus. Her voice trembled, but was firm. I can't. Not until we talk. Aboot me, son. He's not your son, I'll prove it. DNA test. The court will grant me paternity rights. Visitation, shared custody. And there's nothing you can do about it. The test will prove it's not yours. And then you can finally leave, and leave me in peace. Marcus laughs. His voice is humorless. A pure threat. Do you really think anyone will believe you? A lonely, pregnant woman who appeared out of nowhere, fleeing an abusive past without documentation. I'll say you fled from me. When I found out I was pregnant, I'm desperately trying to be a responsible father, but you're denying me access. Who's going to believe me? They will believe in the truth. Truth. He leans closer to the glass. Truth is, what do I make it seem true? It always has been. And you've always been bad at telling convincing stories. Alina, always too emotional, too hysterical. Exactly how it seems now. Alina feels anger replacing fear. Get out now, or I'll call the police. Call. Explain that my ex is standing in front of a public building. See if they can arrest him. He knocks again. Harder. The glass vibrates dangerously. Either you open this door and we talk like adults, about the future, about our baby, about how we're going to raise them together. I'm never going to create anything with you. Then I'll do it the hard way. Marcus takes a step back. He assesses the door. Glass breaks easily. And then we talk anyway. Marcus, no, open up. Last chance. Or I'm going in anyway. Alina picks up the phone, her hands trembling. She dials 911. But before she answers, she sees through the window, red and blue lights, a police car pulling up to the street, a door opening. Sheriff Thornton. He exits the vehicle with a fluid movement honed over years of practice. Unhurried but purposeful. He walks towards Marcus with an authority that leaves no room for argument or negotiation. Problem here. Marcus turns around. He assesses the situation in seconds. And he does what he always does. Adjusts his mask. Charm instead of threat. A smile instead of anger. None officially. Just trying to talk to my ex. Private matter. Domestic issue. James looks at Alina through the glass. He sees the phone in her hand. He sees a barely disguised expression of terror. Mrs. Vasquez asked you to leave? She's being irrational. Pregnancy, hormones. You know how it is. Simple question. James's tone stiffens. She asked you to leave. Marcus hesitates. Then, yes. But we have matters to settle, not here. Not now. You will go. Immediately. Or what? Are you going to arrest me? For trying to talk to my son's mother? I'll arrest you for disturbing the peace. For refusing to leave private property when asked. And what if you break that door, like I heard you threaten? James approaches. Not aggressive, but intimidating by his presence. Vandalism. Destruction of property. Trespassing. Choose how many charges you want to face. Speaking to an ex. That's ridiculous. For terrorizing a pregnant woman. For making threats. For behavior that I clearly see is not the first time. James keeps his eyes fixed on Marcus. And before you say I didn't do anything illegal technically, you're right, still, but you crossed the line from harassment to threats, and I witnessed it. So now you're going, voluntarily, or in handcuffs. Your decision, Marcus assesses, he calculates. He realizes he has lost his advantage. This isn't over. He looks at Alina through the glass. I'm a father. I have rights. And I'm going to prove it. Legally, the right way. You have nothing but delusions. James gestures toward the street. Go now. Marcus goes. But slowly, performatively, showing that it's his choice, not obedience. He gets into a Koran expensive polished black BMW and drives away without haste. James watches until the car disappears completely. Then he turns to the coffee shop. He knocks lightly on the door. To knocks. Gentle ones, Alina. You can open it. He's gone. She opens the door. Her hands still trembling. And for the first time since meeting James, she doesn't try to hide it. She doesn't force a smile. She doesn't pretend to be okay. Thank you. I was going to call, but you. How did you know? I passed by here. I saw his car. I recognized it from the description you gave, a black BMW license plate from Rockport. And I saw his body language through the window. I didn't need to hear words to know it wasn't a friendly conversation. Did you remember? The car? I remember when someone is in danger. It's part of the job. James pauses. But this went beyond observation. Did he threaten to break down the door? Yes. He said that if I didn't open the door, he would break the glass and get in anyway. I witnessed it. And this is escalation. It's not just harassment anymore. It's a direct threat of invasion. James pulls out his notebook. We need to file a formal report. Now, while it's fresh. Detailing the threat, the pattern of appearances, everything. Deputy Morris said that there was no physical incident. Forget what Morris said. Tom D. James is firm. Morris is wrong. Verbal threats of violence are documentable incidents, especially with witnesses. And I will ensure that the police report is processed correctly. Alina feels something in her chest. Not exactly hope, but relief. Finally, someone is taking action. Okay, I'll file a report. What do I need first? You close the coffee shop properly. Then I'll take you to the police station. I'll file a report in person. And then, James hesitates, crossing another line. I'll make sure you get home safely, without Marcus waiting. You don't need to, I know, but I'm going anyway. He keeps his eyes on her. Alina, this has escalated. Marcus isn't just observing anymore. He's confronting, threatening violence. And the pattern says the next step is to follow through with threats. So yes, I'm going to make sure you're safe, because it's my job. And, he pauses. Honestly, because I care. Words hang between them, laden with meaning beyond the professional realm. Thank you. Elena's voice breaks. You don't know how much. No one else cared. Everyone downplayed it, but you. I saw it, and I believed it. And I will continue to see and believe it. Because you deserve protection. And a baby deserves a mother who doesn't live in constant fear. Alina quickly closes the cafeteria, turns off the lights, grabs her purse and coat. And when she leaves with James, when she walks to the patrol car under his protection, she feels, for the first time in weeks, something resembling safety. They go to the police station. It's almost empty. The night shift is skeleton crew. James completely ignores Maurice and sits with Alina in a private room. Tell me everything. From when Marcus first appeared, every appearance, every phone call, every flower scent, everything. Alina tells the story. It takes 40 minutes. And James meticulously documents it. Dates, times, exact words, when she remembers them. Escalation pattern. When he finishes, he has 5 pages of dense notes. That's enough. James closes his notebook. With this and my testimony today, we have grounds for an emergency restraining order. I'll file tomorrow morning. The local judge is reasonable. He'll see what happens. What if Marcus challenges? Let him try. Documentation doesn't lie, and the sheriff's testimony carries weight. James stands up. But for today, you're going home. And I'll check the apartment first. Make sure he's not waiting. They drive to Main Street. They park behind the coffee shop. James goes up first, the outside stairs that lead to Elena's apartment. Stay here, he instructs. Then he goes upstairs. He checks the door locked. No signs of forced entry. He uses the key Alina gave him and enters. He checks every room, closets, bathroom, under the bed, empty, safe. He goes back to the stairs. Clean. You can go up. Alina goes upstairs. She enters her apartment, which she hasn't felt safe in 4 weeks. Lock everything up. Chain it to, and call if anything, any strange noise, any apparition happens. James hands over the card again, even though he already gave it to her. Seriously. Anytime. Thank you. For everything. For believing. For acting. Always. And there's weight in that word. A promise beyond the professional. After James leaves, Alina locks the door. Chain latch. Checks the windows. And then, finally, allows her body to relax. Slightly. She has an ally. She has protection. She has someone who sees danger and acts instead of downplaying it. But in his car, driving home, James feels the weight of the decision he made. He crossed a line. From professional protection to personal involvement, and he knows there are consequences. But looking at the alternative, Alina alone against Marcus, the consequences are worth it. Now I want to delve even deeper into this subject. Because what happens in the 3 days following the report isn't peace. It's a deceptive calm. The kind of silence that precedes a storm. And when the storm finally breaks, it reveals a hidden truth about Marcus that Alina never fully shared on, about just how far he'll go when control is threatened. James processes the police report on Saturday morning. Meticulous documentation, 5 pages, detailing every appearance, every phone call, every flower, culminating in a direct threat to break down the cafeteria door. His testimony as sheriff, Elena, sworn statement. He takes it to Judge Harrison, a 60-year-old man, reasonable but conservative. The judge reads it. Franz tests it. Sheriff, this is concerning, but for an emergency restraining order, I need demonstrable imminent threat. He threatened, but he didn't follow through. There's no physical harm, not yet. James leans forward. Your Honor, the pattern is classic. Escalation from observation to confrontation, from words to threats. The next step is violence. I understand your concern, but as a precaution, my hands are tied. Bring evidence of an actual attempted break-in or assault, and I'll grant an order immediately, but based solely on verbal threats. The judge shakes his head. Sorry. James leaves that office feeling familial frustration. The legal system requires harm before protection, and by the time it arrives, it's often too late. He calls Alina. The judge needs more, but the documentation is on file. And if Marcus shows up again, especially if he tries to break in, we have solid grounds. So I expect him to climb before seeking protection. Unfortunately, yes. But Alina, I'm increasing patrols in that area. Call me about anything. And don't open the door for him under any circumstances. I am not going. 3 days pass. Silence. Marcus doesn't show up at the coffee shop. He doesn't call. He doesn't send flowers. Alina starts to breathe. Maybe it worked. Maybe the bulletin was enough to scare him. Maybe he finally understood that he's not going to win. Diane notices the change. You seem better, less tense. Maybe he gave up. Alina doesn't completely believe it, but she wants to. James is less optimistic. He knows his type. Men like Marcus don't give up. They retreat strategically, they regroup, and they return stronger. So Monday night, James is on patrol when he receives a call, not a dispatch call. His personal number, Alina. He answers immediately. Alina. James. Her voice is a terrified whisper. He's here. At the door. Trying to get in. Where are you? Apartment. I locked my room, but he's breaking down the front door. I hear wood cracking. Was 911 called? Yes, but you're closer. Please, I'm coming. 2 minutes. It won't open. No matter what he says, I am not going. James turns on the siren. He accelerates. Main Street is 2 miles away. He makes it in 90 seconds. 20 minutes earlier, Alina had been preparing a simple dinner. Soup, toast, food that a pregnant stomach could tolerate. Small but cozy apartment, home she had built. A knock at the door. No polite knock. A loud knock. Urgent. Alina freezes. Instinct screams. Danger. She approaches with a peephole. Look, Marcus. Panic ensues. Go away, Alina. I know you're there. Open up. We need to talk. We have nothing to talk about. Leave, or I'll call the police. Call them. Explain why you're denying the father access to his son. See if they don't try to make you look crazy. He's not your son. Her voice rises. Despite her attempt to remain calm. No. Then whose is it? That convenient ghost man you invented. Because I did some research, Alina. I asked around town. And you know what I found out? Dramatic pause. Nobody. I've seen you with a man in the last 6 months. No boyfriend. No dates. Nothing. So either you're lying about being a father, or... He laughs humorlessly. You had an immaculate conception. Which one is it? Alina feels nauseous. Because his argument, though cruel, has only superficial logic. Daniel has disappeared. There's no physical evidence of him. No photos, no witnesses to a relationship that barely existed. Marcus, go away. I'm warning you for the last time, or what? What exactly are you going to do? Silence. Alina has no answer, because what can she do? He's on the other side of the door. She's pregnant, alone, vulnerable. And then he hears a heavy sound banging on the door, like a shoulder or a foot. The wood creaks but holds up once, twice. I'm going to break down that door. I'm going to come in, and we're going to have the conversation we should have had weeks ago, about our future, about how we're going to create it. My child together. Alina picks up the phone. Her hands are shaking so much, she almost drops it. She dials 911. 911. What's your emergency? My ex is trying to break down the door to my apartment, above the Sunrise Cafe on Main Street. He's been violent in the past, and I'm pregnant, and the vehicle is on its way. Lock yourself in a safe room. Do not open the door. Stay on the line. Alina runs to her room, the only room with a lock on the door. She closes it. She turns the latch, and then she pushes the heavy dresser, the only substantial piece of furniture, against the door. Improvised barricade. And he hears it through thin walls, the sound of cracking wood. Marcus isn't just hitting. He's kicking, with full force. Crack. The wood of the front door partially gives way. Another shot, higher crack, and then, the sound of a door opening, hinges creaking. He went in. Alina, where are you? Heavy footsteps, searching. Stop being dramatic. I just want to talk. Alina shrinks into a corner of the room, hand on her stomach. Instinctive protection. About the future, about her son, about the family we're going to be. Marcus isn't whispering. He's shouting. His voice echoes in the small apartment, and Alina realizes he's not just wrong about fatherhood. He's convinced an alternate reality he constructed where the baby is his, where Alina belongs to him, where the separation was a misunderstanding that he will correct. Dangerous delusion. Footsteps approach the room. They stop at the door. Door handle turns. Locked. Alina, open up. I know you're there. Go away. The police are coming. I don't care. You'll see. A man trying to reconcile with his son's mother. Nothing criminal about that. You broke down the door. Why did you deny me entry? After weeks of trying, reasonably, any judge will understand. Marcus knocks on the door. Not violently yet, almost casual. Open up. Last chance, before I break down another door. And what about the furniture you pushed against it? It won't stop anything. Alina dials the number James gave her, his personal line. He answers on the first ring. Alina. James. I whispered in terror. He's here. He broke down the door. He's trying to get into the room. Where exactly are you? Bedroom. I locked the door. I pushed the dresser, but he said he's going to break it. Was 911 called? Yes. But you're closer. I'm coming. 2 minutes. Alina, listen. Don't open the door. It doesn't matter what he says. It doesn't matter what he threatens. The police are coming, and I'm coming. Hold on. I am going to try. On the other side of the door, who are you talking to? Your imaginary boyfriend? Or the sheriff who thinks he can protect you? Marcus laughs. He's never there. Alina, he never is. And then, first kick on the bedroom. Door, wood creaks. Dresser slides a few centimeters. Second shot. A crack appears in the door frame. Alina screams. Not words, just pure sounds of terror. And then, siren. Distant, but approaching. Marcus stops. Shit. Running footsteps. Sound of a window opening. The apartment is on the second floor, but there is a fire escape. Marcus is running away. Alina hears everything but doesn't move. Frozen in a corner. Hands still on her belly. Protecting it. James arrives in less than 2 minutes. The car skids to stop. He gets out running. He climbs the outside stairs 2 steps at a time. The front door is open. Damaged. Large crack where the lock used to be. Alina. He enters. Gun drawn. Checking Alina. It's James. Where are you? Room. A muffled voice. Frightened. James goes to the bedroom door. He sees the damage. He sees how it almost collapsed. Alina, he's gone. You can open it. The sound of a dresser being pushed. Slowly, then the latch turning. The door opens. And Alina is their pale face, wide eyes, trembling so violently she can barely stand. James sheaths his weapon. Breathe. You're safe now. But Alina isn't breathing normally. She's breathing in short gasps. She's starting to hyperventilate. James approaches. Slowly, not threateningly. Alina, look at me. Breathe with me. In and out. She tries. She fails. And then she falls apart. James catches her before she falls. Not a romantic embrace, physical support. He guides her to the edge of the bed. Sits. With her. You're safe. He's gone. He can't hurt you now. And in his arms, for the first time in weeks, that Alina allows herself to be completely vulnerable. She breaks down. Sobs that come from a place too deep to contain. He's done this before. Words escape between sobs. 2 years ago, when we were still together, I said I wanted to leave, and he broke down the door of the room where I was. He dragged me outside, and he hit me, with his fists, with his feet, everything. He hit me, until I stopped moving. James feels a cold rage rising. Did you go to the hospital? Yes. 3 days. Fractured jaw, broken ribs, concussion. And when doctors asked, he said I fell down the stairs, and I didn't correct him, because I was scared. Too scared to process it, to report it. I just wanted to run away as soon as I could. That's why you came to Millbrook? Yes. And I thought I was safe, that he would never find it, but he did. And now he's doing it again. And this time, she puts her hand on her belly. This time I have a baby to protect, and I don't know how to stop him. I don't know how to win. James holds her shoulders, gentle but firm. You're not alone this time, and we're going to stop him. With every legal tool we have, and some that aren't exactly protocol. Comment below. This makes sense to me. Now I want to delve even deeper into this subject. Because what James faces at that moment, sitting in a damaged apartment, watching Alina break down, hearing revelations of violence that the hospital documented, but the system ignored, is not just a professional decision. It's a moral dilemma that tests everything he believes about duty, protocol, and the line between protecting citizens and becoming personally involved in their lives. James should keep his distance. Training is explicit. Protect, document, process through appropriate channels. Don't get emotionally involved. Don't cross the line from professional to personal. Don't become invested in ways that compromise objectivity. But sitting there, Alina trembling in his arms, revealing a hospitalization that no one reported, terror in her eyes when she mentions Marcus. James senses something fundamental shifting. This is not just a casualty. It's not just another domestic call in a 20-year career. It's systemic failure. It's living evidence of how protocol kills when rigidly applied to situations that require humanity. And Alina will die if he blindly follows protocol. I need to take you to the hospital. His voice is gentle but firm. To assess you and the baby, to ensure that stress hasn't caused any complications. No. Immediate response. Panic in her eyes. Please. I don't want to leave here. Alina, you've been through significant trauma. If he goes to the hospital, he'll know. Small town. Gossip travels. And he'll show up there. And I can't see him again today. I can't. Voice breaks. Please. James assesses the situation. Protocol dictates that transport for medical evaluation is mandatory after trauma. But looking at the genuine terror on her face, he understands. Forcing her to go to the hospital might cause more harm than good. Okay? No hospital today. But you'll see a doctor tomorrow. Non-negotiable. Commitment. And you won't be alone tonight. I'm going to lock what's left of the door, Alina. James stands up. He walks to the front door. He examines the damage. A crack runs from the lock to the hinge. The wood is splintered. You can't lock this. Anyone can push it open and get in. And Marcus knows it's damaged. If he comes back. So what? Am I going to a hotel? I could. Or, James hesitates. He knows his next words cross a line he shouldn't. Either you come with me. I have a spare room. The house is safe. Alarm, solid locks. And Marcus doesn't know where I live. Alina looks at him, surprised. Is this appropriate? You're the sheriff. I'm a victim in an active case. And you are in imminent danger. Appropriate is less important than alive. But if anyone knows, then I'll explain. James maintains a calm tone, reasonable. Alina protocol would say to put her in a hotel. Give the dispatcher an address. Process it through the appropriate channels. But protocol also said not to issue a restraining order. Protocol failed to protect you when you first reported it. And protocol kills people. Heavy silence. Alina processes. Why are you doing this? It goes beyond work. Why? James remains silent for a long moment. Then, honestly, it started as work. Recognizing threats, documenting patterns, doing the right thing within the system. But it turned personal, because 5 years ago I received a call. Domestic violence. A woman called saying her ex-husband was in the house with a gun, threatening to kill her. What happened? I was 10 minutes away. I drove fast. I arrived in 8, but his voice hardens. I heard a gunshot as I was getting out of the car. I went inside. Rachel Chen was on the ground, 32 years old. 2 children waiting at school. Dead because I arrived 8 minutes instead of 6. James, it wasn't your fault. I know that logically, but emotionally. He shakes his head. I carry it. Because Rachel called for help. The system responded, but not quickly enough. And I learned, arriving after the violence happens is a failure. The only real option is prevention. Being there. Before that, the damage is irreversible. And is that what you're doing? Preventing it? I'm trying, because I recognize patterns. I've seen it before. And Marcus is following the exact script. Observation, confrontation, threat, invasion. The next step is physical violence. And statistics say, violence against pregnant women has a high mortality rate. Because the abuser sees pregnancy as a permanent bond that he cannot control. So he eliminates it. Alina instinctively placed her hand on her stomach. He would kill me. Even pregnant. Especially when pregnant. Because a baby represents a total loss of control. And men like Marcus prefer to destroy what they cannot possess. Harsh words. But Alina needs to hear the truth. She needs to understand the gravity of the situation. Then yes, she finally says, I'll go to your house. For tonight. James helps her pack the bag. Clothes, toiletries, prenatal medications. Essentials for 24 hours. While she packs up, James calls Deputy Taylor. A young, alert voice answers. Taylor, I need a favor. Apartment above the Sunrise Cafe on Main. Hold the position tonight. Nobody gets in. Especially Marcus Reed. I have his description and license plate on file. Legal basis for static custody, sheriff, invasion, burglary, threat against occupant. If Reed appears, arrest him immediately for trespassing and attempted contact. Understood. But sheriff, this will take up an entire shift, I know. And I will approve overtime in person. But Alina Vasquez needs protection. And I don't trust that she's safe without a physical presence. Yes, sir. I'm on my way. James hangs up and feels the weight of the decision. Assigning a deputy to be a civilian's personal bodyguard, outside of protocol. It will raise questions, possibly an investigation. But the alternative is to leave the apartment unprotected. And Marcus has shown that a destroyed door doesn't stop him. Alina appears with a small bag. Ready, they descend the outside stairs. James constantly scans the street, the parking lot, the shadows, his eyes scanning the street, searching for the black BMW, searching for Marcus. Nothing. For now. He opens the passenger door of the police car. Not the back door that would be treating her as a detainee. Alina gets in. She puts her bag on her lap. James drives. Not straight home. First, he takes an indirect route, checking if he's being followed. A counter-surveillance technique he learned in federal training. After 20 minutes and no suspicious cars, he finally goes home. 70s-style ranch. Quiet suburb. Well-kept lawn. 2 bedrooms. Modest but safe. It's not much, he says as he parks. It's more than I have now. Alina looks around. Familiar neighborhood. Lights on in neighboring houses. Normalcy. Thank you for this, for taking the risk. I'm not risking as much as you think, but that's a lie. He knows there are consequences. Inside, the house is exactly what Alina would expect. Clean, but clearly a single man's home. Functional furniture. No excessive decoration. Family photos on the wall. Parents, sister, nephews. The guest room is over there. James points to the hallway. Shared bathroom, but you have privacy. Locks on all doors. And the alarm system is armed. Any door or window that opens, it goes off. You really take security seriously. Occupancy hazard. Small smile. Breakfast at 7. And tomorrow, we'll do this right. Emergency restraining order with evidence of trespassing. Judge can't refuse. Now Alina puts the bag in the room. She returns to the living room where James is checking the alarm system. James, can I ask you something? Of course. Do you have family? A wife? A girlfriend? Someone who's going to question a strange pregnant woman staying here? Divorced for 3 years? No kids? No girlfriend at the moment. He pauses. And my sister, my only close family, will understand. She went through a similar situation years ago. Abusive ex. Luckily, she survived. But it took her years to rebuild. That's why you understand. That's why I can't know to understand. A silent connection. To people carrying the weight of trauma hers experienced, his witnessed. Alina finally goes to her room. She closes the door. She doesn't lock it. She feels safe enough not to need to. And she lies down on the guest bed that smells of clean detergent and sunshine. For the first time in weeks, she's asleep. Not perfectly, but without the absolute terror of waking up to Marcus at the door. James stays up longer, sitting in the living room, processing the decision he made. He crossed the line, from professional protection to personal involvement, and he knows there are potential consequences. Morris will report when he finds out. The captain will question him. There may be an investigation into the sheriff's inappropriate behavior in taking the victim home. But James has already decided professional consequences are worthwhile if it means Alina lives. Because an alternative, blindly following protocol, letting the system fail once again, arriving too late, is not an option one can live with. Rachel Chen died because the system was too slow. Alina won't go. There's no stopping James, even if the cost is a distinctive feature that it has used for 20 years. Now I want to delve even deeper into this subject. Because what happens in the following days while Alina stays at James's house, while Marcus is wanted on an arrest warrant that has finally been issued, while the world continues to spin outside of a temporary bubble of safety, is not merely practical convenience, it's transformation. It's 2 people, both carrying trauma, discovering that healing begins with being seen, truly seen, by someone who understands without needing explanation. James's house is modest, ranch style from the 70s. 2 bedrooms, living room with a used but comfortable sofa, small kitchen with appliances that work but don't impress, tidy but obviously home to a man who has lived alone for years. No decorative touches, no plants, no life beyond the functional. The guest room is over there, James points. The bathroom is shared, but you have privacy. Clean towels are in the closet, and the door has a lock if you want to use it. Thank you. And James, Alina pauses, searching for the right words. Thank you so much, for everything, for believing, for acting, for seeing me when everyone else chose not to. Always. One word. But it carries the weight of a promise. In the following days, a strange routine forms. Unplanned, but emerging naturally from two people sharing space, while the outside world remains dangerous. James wakes up at 6. He's always woken up early. 20 years in law enforcement has trained his internal clock. He makes coffee, scrambled eggs, toast. Nothing elaborate, but food. First morning, Alina comes downstairs at 7. Her hair is still damp from the shower. She's dressed simply. Her 5-month pregnancy is obvious under her shirt. Good morning. Her voice is hesitant, unsure about the dynamic. Good morning. Coffee, decaffeinated. It's already prepared, and I made eggs. I hope you like it. They eat in silence at first. Not uncomfortably, just new. Two strangers learning to share morning space. Then James goes to work. Taylor continues to guard the apartment, and I'm filing for an emergency restraining order today. With evidence of a break-in, the judge has to approve it. What if Marcus comes back? So Taylor's arresting him. A warrant has already been issued. Trespassing, burglary, threats. Marcus Reed is officially wanted. James pauses. But, Elena, you stay here. Don't go to the coffee shop. Don't go out alone. Understood? I can't stay hidden forever. Not forever. Just until the situation stabilizes. Diane can manage. And her safety and the baby's safety are the priority. Alina wants to argue, but she knows he's right. Okay, I'll stay. Days turn into routine. James works patrolling, paperwork, coordinating with the judge about the restraining order. Alina stays home. At first, restless, accustomed to working, moving, doing. But gradually, she learns to relax marginally. She cleans, not because James asked her to, but because she needs to do something. She washes dishes. She organizes the living room. She folds clothes that James left in the laundry basket. When he returns and sees, he protests. You don't need to, I know, but I need to do something, to feel useful, and you're giving me shelter. That's the least I can do. You are safe. That's enough. But Alina continues anyway, because movement helps with anxiety, and contributing makes her feel less burdened. Nighttime is when real deepening happens. James cooks. He's not good. He readily admits it. Limited menu. Spaghetti, tacos, grilled chicken. Sorry, I'm not a chef. It's hot food made by someone who cares. It's more than I've had in days. Alina helps where she can. Vegetables, stirring sauce. Working together in a small kitchen. They eat at the dining table that James probably hadn't used for months before she arrived. And they talk. First, superficially. Time, news, trivia about the city. But slowly, conversations deepen. How did you end up in Millbrook? Alina asks one night. I was born here. I grew up 3 blocks away. I went to state college. I came back. I joined the department at 22. James takes a sip of water. I never planned to stay. But small towns have a way of captivating you. In a good way, usually. Do you like? I like it. I know everyone. Everyone knows me. There's comfort in that. But also, limitation. It's difficult to have a private life when everyone knows your business. Is that why you got divorced? James pauses. Part of it, Sarah, my ex-wife, wanted more. A bigger city. Her career. And I was married to my job. To my badge. To the idea of protecting the city that raised me. Eventually, she realized it wasn't enough. Sorry. No need. It was 3 years ago. And honestly, she was right. I wasn't there. Not emotionally. And now, I'm now learning that work doesn't replace human connection, but slowly. Another night, Elena shares about the coffee shop. I bought it 6 months ago. Every penny I saved since I arrived in Millbrook, $18,000. Sounds small, but to me, it was a fortune. It was proof that I could build something, own something. The first thing in adult life that is truly my. And Marcus wants to take it away. Not directly, but his presence. Customers notice. They ask. They feel uncomfortable. Business is suffering. Diane says that traffic has dropped 30% in the last few weeks. Her voice breaks. I worked so hard, and he's destroying it without even touching it. We're going to stop him. James is firm. A restraining order will be granted. Marcus will be prohibited from approaching. And eventually, the business will recover. What? If it doesn't work, what if he finds ways around it? So we do it differently. I adapt. I document obsessively. I build a case that the judge can't ignore. And Alina, he pauses. If necessary, I use resources that aren't exactly protocol. Like what? It's best you don't know the details. But trust me, I won't let Marcus destroy what you've built. Conviction in his voice. Conviction that James doesn't fully feel because he knows the system is slow, that Marcus is clever, that the ending isn't guaranteed. But Alina needs to hear it. You need something to believe in. On the 5th night, Alina finally asks the question she's been avoiding. You mentioned a woman who died. Rachel, what exactly happened? James remains quiet for a long time. Then, Rachel Chen, 32 years old, 2 children 8 and 10. Husband David had a history. 3 previous domestic disputes. But Rachel never wanted to press charges. Always downplayed it. Until she couldn't anymore. What has changed? He strangled her. She was almost unconscious. The children saw it, and finally she called 911. She said David was back, with a gun, threatening to kill her and then himself. Alina feels nauseous. And did you answer? I was 10 minutes away. I drove as fast as I could. I arrived in 8, but his voice hardens, becoming hollow. I heard a gunshot as I was getting out of the car. I ran inside. Rachel was on the ground, shot in the chest. David was standing over her, with the gun still in his hand. He looked at me, and then he turned the gun on himself. Did he kill himself? He tried. He hit the shoulder instead of the head. He survived. Life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. And Rachel? He died on the way to the hospital. His children were orphaned. David's parental rights were obviously revoked. They live with their grandmother now. Heavy silence. Alina processes the horror of the story. It wasn't your fault, she finally says. You came. You did what? You could. I arrived late. 8 minutes. If it had been 6, you can't know. And James, carrying this guilt, Rachel wouldn't want that. Maybe not. But I carry it anyway. Because I learned a lesson. Arriving after the violence happens is a systemic failure. Prevention is the only real option. And since that day, I swore, I will never again arrive late when I know someone is in danger. Is that why you're doing this? For me, because of Rachel. It started with Rachel. But Alina looks at her, really looks at her. It turned on you. Because you deserve protection. Because babies deserve a chance to be born safe. And because I recognize in you something I saw in Rachel, a survivor fighting against a system that consistently fails. Tears streamed down Elena's face. Thank you for arriving early this time, always. And in that moment, something happens between them. Not romance too soon, too complicated, too entangled in trauma, but a foundation. Trust built on shared vulnerability, mutual recognition of pain that others don't understand. James sees Alina not as a victim to be saved, but as a survivor with her own strength who simply needs an ally. Alina sees James not as the perfect savior, but as a flawed man carrying guilt, trying to do better, choosing to show up even when it's difficult. Days go by, routine deepens, and gradually, James's house stops being a temporary refuge and begins to feel like home, not permanent. They both know that. But for the moment, while Marcus is on the run and the outside world is dangerous, this shared space becomes a bubble where Alina can breathe without constant terror. And James, for the first time in 3 years since the divorce, the house doesn't feel empty. Comment below. This makes sense to me. Now I want to delve even deeper into this subject. Because the legal victory, Alina finally achieves an emergency restraining order signed by a judge, an active arrest warrant, official protection from a system that has failed her so many times should bring peace. It should be the end of a nightmare. But when you understand how men like Marcus operate, you realize a restraining order is just the next battlefield. And Marcus has always been a master at using the legal system as a weapon. James arrives home Wednesday night with an official document in hand and an expression Alina can't quite read. Relief, worry, both. "We did it." He places the document on the dining table. Judge Harrison signed an emergency restraining order based on evidence of trespassing, documented threats, a pattern of harassment, and my testimony. Alina picks up the paper with trembling hands. She reads, "Emergency restriction order. Marcus James Reed is prohibited from 1. Contacting Alina Marie Vasquez by any means, 2. Approaching within 500 feet of Alina Vasquez's residence, workplace, or vehicle. 3. Contacting third parties to communicate with Alina Vasquez. Violation of this order will result in immediate arrest. Valid for 30 days until the full hearing scheduled for January 15th. Is it over?" Her voice is small, hopeful, but afraid to believe it, temporarily. James sits down. The order lasts 30 days. Then there's a hearing where both sides present evidence. Marcus can contest it. He can claim the order is unjustified. But Alina, with documented intrusion, my testimony, and a clear pattern, the judge will probably extend it. Probably. Nothing is guaranteed. But we have a strong case. Alina takes her first breath in days. She really breathes. "So can I go back home? To my apartment?" The door was fixed. Taylor checked it yesterday. New lock reinforced. But James hesitates. "I'd prefer you stay here a few more days, until we see how Marcus reacts." "Do you think you're going to violate the order?" "I think men like Marcus don't give up when legal paperwork says so. They retreat, they regroup, and they find ways around it, as hiring a lawyer, using the legal system as ongoing harassment. And if that fails," his voice hardens, escalating to direct violence. Alina is afraid to return, because James is right. A restraining order is just a piece of paper, and a piece of paper isn't for a specific man. 3 days of peace, almost surreal in this normality. On Friday, Alina returns to the coffee shop for the first time in a week. Diane almost cries when she sees her. "Alina, are you okay? I heard about the break-in, about Marcus. We're all worried." "I'm fine. Safe. A restraining order has been issued, and I'm going back to work." Customers she's known for months stop by to ask questions, to offer support. Small town, gossip traveled, but this time, gossip brought solidarity instead of judgment. "If you need anything at all, call." Marcus Reed always seemed strange to me. Now we know why. "You are strong. You will overcome this." Alina feels seen, supported. For the first time since Marcus appeared, the community is on her side. Business is slowly returning. Movement is still below normal, but people are coming back. Coffee is flowing. Life goes on. And Alina allows that little hope to grow. Maybe it's over. Maybe order was enough. Maybe Marcus finally understood. On Monday, everything changes again. The mail arrives at noon. Alina is wiping down the counter when the mailman delivers a thick envelope. Official, sealed, remittent, Madison and Associates. Attorneys at law. Alina's stomach tightens. She opens it with trembling fingers. Inside, legal petition. 10 pages. Dense language. Petition for presumed paternity. Marcus James Reed versus Alina Marie Vasquez. She reads. Each word fuels the terror. Marcus is petitioning for presumed paternity. He claims that his relationship with Alina coincides with her conception, that he has a presumptive right to paternity, and that he is demanding a DNA test to confirm it. Furthermore, he is alleging that the restraining order was obtained under false pretenses, that Alina fabricated threats to deny him parental rights, that he is requesting the order be revoked. Alina can't breathe. The room spins. She sits up before collapsing. Diane runs Alina. What happened? Marcus, is suing, claiming the baby is his, demanding a test, but it's not his, right? No. We broke up 18 months ago. The baby was conceived 5 months ago. The math is clear, but fear isn't rational. Can he force a test? Can he make me? I don't know. You need to speak with a lawyer, Alina calls James. Her hands are shaking so much she can barely dial. James, I received a letter from Marcus's lawyer. He's petitioning for paternity, demanding a DNA test. Pause, I'm coming. 20 minutes. James arrives in 15. He reads the petition with an increasingly somber expression. Son of a bitch. He's using the system. Exactly as I predicted. Can he do that? Force a test. Complicated. James puts a piece of paper on the table. Technically, without marriage or prior acknowledgement of paternity, Marcus doesn't have an automatic basis to demand a test, but he can claim it. And if you refuse, the judge can question your motivation. Motivation? My motivation is that I don't want an abuser near my son. I know, but legally, refusal seems suspicious, as if they were hiding something. Alina senses the trap closing in. Then I'll test it. I'll prove it's not his, and the problem will be over. If the test proves Marcus isn't the father, James hesitates. Then yes, his claim ends. Legally. But Alina, that doesn't mean he's leaving. It just means he loses a specific legal basis, and then it escalates in another way. Because this was never about real fatherhood. It was about control. And when legal control fails, men like Marcus resort to violence. Alina puts her hand on her stomach. So I'm stuck. I take the test, and he escalates it. I refuse the test, and I look suspicious. She's not in jail, but she's in an impossible situation that Marcus deliberately created. James picks up the phone. I'll call Linda, a specialized lawyer. She advised on the best strategy. Linda Reyes is a 40-year-old woman, specialist in family law and domestic violence. Small but efficient office. Alina and James meet with her the following afternoon. Linda reads the petition. Marcus is playing as expected, using paternity as leverage. Let's respond like this. You consent to a DNA test, but under specific conditions. What conditions? Tests performed by a neutral third party, not his chosen laboratory. You and Marcus are not present together, separate samples. And results go to the cutoff point directly, not to Marcus first. What if he refuses the conditions? Then we question motivation. Sure, if he truly wants to establish paternity, he should accept a neutral process. If he refuses, it suggests that he knows he is not the father and is using the system as a form of harassment. And what about the restraining order? He's asking for it to be revoked. You won't succeed. The invasion is documented. The sheriff's testimony carries weight. At most, the judge can modify the terms, but he can't completely revoke it. Alina feels a faint sense of relief. So we test it. We prove it's not his, and he finally leaves. Linda and James exchange a glance. Legally, yes, Linda says carefully. If a test proves he's not the biological father, he loses the basis for any claim. But he won't accept it, James adds. Because this has never been a fair game. It's psychological. And when you lose a legal tool, you resort to something else. Like what? Intimidation. Threats through third parties. Direct violence. James maintains a calm but firm voice. Alina, a DNA test is necessary, but it doesn't end the threat. It only changes its form. Alina processes, so it never ends. I spend the rest of my life looking over my shoulder. No, because eventually, Marcus makes a mistake, violates order, escalates in a way the system can't ignore. And then prison. Real prison. Long prison. James pauses. But until then, you need to remain vigilant and protected. DNA test scheduled. 2 weeks. Neutral lab. in a neighboring city. Separate samples, Alina at 10 a.m., Marcus at 2 p.m., no contact. Results in 5 to 7 days after collection. Delivered directly for cutting. Alina should feel relieved. The process is underway. The truth will be proven. Marcus will lose his legal basis, but all you feel is fear. Because James is right. Marcus won't accept a legal defeat and simply disappear. He's going to climb. And the next step could be violence, which a restraining order doesn't prevent. Now I want to delve even deeper into this subject. Because the hidden truth about what Marcus really plans while everyone focuses on DNA testing, legal petitions, court hearings is that he never played a game the legal system can win. He's playing a much older game. A much more dangerous one. A game where the winner isn't determined by a judge, but by who is willing to go the extra mile. And Marcus has always been willing to completely destroy what he cannot possess. DNA tests scheduled for Thursday, 2 weeks away. Gen test lab in Riverside, neighboring town, 30 minutes away. Procedure is clear. Alina at 10 a.m., Marcus at 2 p.m., no contact. Neutral technician collects samples. Results in 5 to 7 business days. Delivered directly to court. Linda Reyes is optimistic when she explains, proof that he's not the biological father. His legal basis crumbles. Paternity claim denied. And with a pattern of harassment already documented, a permanent restraining order is almost guaranteed. The judge will have no choice. Alina wants to believe. And then it's over. Marcus gives up. Legally. Yes. He won't have grounds to continue contesting. Linda pauses. But emotionally, that depends on him accepting legal defeat. James isn't so convinced. And that night, at his place, Alina, still staying there because, even though the apartment was repaired, she doesn't feel safe. He voices his concern. Marcus doesn't really believe he's a father. Alina looks up from the cup of tea she was drinking. How do you know? Because math is obvious. You finished 18 months ago. The baby was conceived 5 months ago. Anyone with a primary school education can do the math. And Marcus, he's not stupid. He knows the timeline doesn't add up. So why insist on testing? Why all the legal performance control? James sits across from her at the kitchen table. The test keeps you trapped in legal proceedings. It keeps Marcus in your life even through intermediaries. It forces you to think about him, worry about him, react to his moves. It's controlled through the system. But when tests prove it's not his, that's the problem. James leans forward. Men like Marcus, when they lose legal control, when the system finally works against them, they don't accept defeat and move on. They take control another way, usually through violence. Alina felt a chill run down her spine. Restraining order, it's paperwork. James's voice is gentle but firm. Alina, Marcus already violated it once, when he broke into your apartment, before the order was formalized. Technically, but the point remains. Paperwork didn't stop him, and it won't stop him in the future if he decides to escalate. So what do? Do I stay hidden forever? Stay vigilant? Never. Alone. Especially during transitions, closing a coffee shop, going to your car, moments when you're vulnerable. James pauses. And I stay close. Closer than protocol technically allows. James, you've already risked so much. Career, reputation. You can't, I can, and I will. Absolute determination. Because the alternative is arriving late, like Rachel. And I won't let that happen again. Alina looks at him. She sees not just a professional protector, she sees a man who cares in a way that transcended duty days ago, maybe weeks ago. She sees the person who chose to stay when everyone else disappeared. Thank you. For everything. For believing when no one else did. For acting when the system failed. For staying when it would have been easier to follow protocol and keep your distance. Always. One word. But it carries the weight of a promise that goes beyond the professional, and something happens between them. Not romance, yet too complicated, too entangled in trauma and danger, but recognition. A bond formed in crisis, but building something deeper. But what none of them know what they can't know, while they prepare for DNA testing, while they build a legal case, while they trust that the system will finally work, is that Marcus isn't playing their game. He doesn't plan to wait for test results. He doesn't plan to accept legal defeat, even when inevitable. He doesn't plan to use a system he knows will fail him. Marcus is playing a different game, and he's already made moves that James and Alina didn't see. 2 weeks earlier, when the restraining order was issued, Marcus didn't flee Millbrook. He stayed in a discreet hotel on the outskirts of town, paying in cash. No official record, and he hired someone, Thomas Foss, former military man, private investigator operating on the fringes of the law, specialist in surveillance, in finding patterns, in identifying vulnerabilities. I need to know everything about Alina Vasquez, Marcus said at that first meeting. Her routine, her schedule, where she's vulnerable, when she's alone. Understood. Voss doesn't ask moral questions. He simply accepts the work and generous pay. Deadline, 2 weeks. Before the ridiculous DNA test she's forcing, Voss spent days observing, documenting, building a complete profile. Alina Vasquez, 28 years old, pregnant, currently lives with Sheriff James Thornton. An interesting fact: works at the Sunrise Cafe on Main Street. Hours, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. daily, usually accompanied by Diane Morrison or clients. Never alone during the day. Vulnerability identified. Nighttime closing. 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday. Friday, Alina closes her coffee shop alone at 9 p.m. Diane leaves at 8 p.m. The last hour is spent alone. After closing, Alina walks a block to a public parking lot, where she leaves her car. The walk takes approximately 30 seconds. Side street, poorly lit, no cameras, no consistent witnesses. Recommendation if the client desires. Unmonitored contact. Nighttime closing offers a window of opportunity. Marcus read the report with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. Perfect. Now, Thursday night, a week before his scheduled DNA test, Marcus sits in a black BMW parked 3 blocks away, watching, waiting. He's not going to make contact today. Not yet, just checking. Confirming that Voss's information is correct, that there's a window of opportunity. At 9 o'clock, the lights in the cafeteria go out. Alina appears in the doorway. She locks it. She checks it twice. And then she starts walking. Alone. A city block. A side street. Deep shadows cast between lampposts that don't provide complete illumination. Marcus watches. He times it. 32 seconds from the moment she leaves the coffee shop until she reaches the car. 32 seconds where you are completely vulnerable. Enough. He's not moving. Not today. But the seed has been planted. The plan is taking shape. Because Marcus decided, if he can't have Alina through the legal system, through false paternity, through emotional manipulation, through control disguised as right seal, have her another way. Or it will ensure that no one has it. And 32 seconds is all it takes. Friday, Alina casually mentions during dinner, I'm going to start closing the coffee shop again on Monday. Diane needs her evenings off, her daughter has a recital. And honestly, I miss the routine. James immediately feels alarmed. Alina, I don't know if this is a good idea. You alone at night. I'm not going to stay hidden forever. The restraining order is in effect. Marcus has an arrest warrant, and I need to get back to living. Her voice was determined. I can't let him hold me back through fear. I understand, but at least let me coordinate increased patrols. Taylor making rounds during lockdown. If it makes you feel better, James will do it. Because instinct, 20 years of experience, screams that something is wrong. That Marcus is too quiet. That calmness is strategic, not a defeat. Monday night, Alina closes the coffee shop. The last customer leaves at 8:40. She cleans, organizes, prepares for the next day. At 9 o'clock, turn off the lights, lock the door, Double-check Taylor's patrol passed by 10 minutes ago. It won't be back for another 15 minutes. The route covers a wide area. Alina starts walking. 1 block, familiar, done hundreds of times. She doesn't see the black BMW parked in the shadows. You don't see a man waiting between buildings. They don't realize the danger until it's too late. Marcus emerges from the shadows when she is halfway there, not running, walking, confident, blocking the path for the car. Hello, Alina. She freezes. Pure terror runs through the system. Marcus, you're violating a restraining order. Order, he laughs. Without humor, paper means nothing. It never has. And you're going to learn that now. Alina steps back. She picks up the phone. But Marcus is faster. He moves forward, and all a paper restraining order can do is serve as evidence. After, if there is one later. Marcus emerges from the shadows when she is halfway there, not running, walking, confident, blocking the path for the car. Hello, Alina. She freezes. Pure terror runs through her system. Every instinct screams, CORRE, but legs won't obey. Marcus, you're violating a restraining order. Order, he laughs, without humor. Just the cold satisfaction of a predator cornered by its prey. Paper means nothing. It never has. A judge can write whatever he wants. But we both know the truth. You are. It always has been. And this baby. He points to her belly. Mine too. A DNA test will prove it or not. It doesn't matter. Because I'm going to get what I want anyway. Alina steps back. Her hand goes to her purse, searching for her phone. But Marcus is faster. He moves forward, 3 long strides, and grabs her wrist before she can dial. No. His voice is cold, controlled. No. Phone calls. No savior, Sheriff. This time, just the 2 of us. Having the conversation we should always have. Alina tries to pull her arm away. But his strength, the strength she remembers all too well from 2 years ago, is absolute. Let go of me now. Or what are you going to shout? Here he looks around. Empty street. No witnesses. Shout. Nobody comes. And Alina realizes he planned it. Every second. Perfect timing between Taylor's patrols. Location chosen for lack of cameras. Moment. When she is completely vulnerable. Marcus pulls her away. Not to his car, too obvious. Towards an alley between buildings. Deep darkness. We need to talk. About the future. About how you stop fighting the inevitable. And if you cooperate, he squeezes her wrist until it hurts. Maybe we can get out of here without anyone getting hurt. Perhaps. But what Marcus doesn't know, what his arrogance prevented him from considering, is that James didn't trust routine patrols. Not completely. He's parked 2 blocks away. Unmarked car. Watching. Because the instinct that screamed during dinner hasn't been silenced. It's only grown stronger. And when he sees Alina leaving the coffee shop, when he sees a figure emerge from the shadows, when he recognizes Marcus even from a distance, James moves. No siren, no lights, just silent speed. He arrives just as Marcus is pulling Alina into the alley. He gets out of a police car. His hand is on his weapon, but he hasn't drawn it yet. Marcus, read. Let her go now. Marcus stops, turns around, and smiles. Sheriff, punctual as always. But too late this time. It's not too late, and you're violating a restraining order. Let go. Hands where I can see them. On the ground. Or what are you going to shoot? With Alina so close. Risky, Sheriff. Marcus pulls Alina closer, using her as a human shield. James remains calm. Training takes over. You're making things worse for yourself. Violating the order is a crime. Add assault, kidnapping, years turn into decades. I don't care. Because if I can't have Alina, Marcus looks at her with eyes devoid of humanity. Nobody can. And everything falls apart in seconds. Marcus pulls something from his jacket. Not a gun, a knife, and James has no choice. Drop the knife. Last chance. But Marcus doesn't let go. And when he starts moving toward Alina, James asks, if you've made it this far, if this story of the ex-toxic person who doesn't accept no for an answer, of a system that fails until it's almost too late, of a protector who risks everything to do the right thing has touched you, you know why these stories need to be told. Because it's not about a simple happy ending packaged in 30 minutes. It's about the brutal reality of women who flee, who rebuild, who discover that the past doesn't stay in the past when a predator decides he has rights over their future. It's about sheriffs like James who cross lines because protocol kills. About impossible decisions between career and conscience. About arriving first instead of documenting later. And if this kind of story resonates with you, you want to continue exploring these truths about abuse, stalking, rebuilding, and protection that comes at a cost, signing up here is the way to keep walking with me. Because Elena's journey isn't over. Marcus made a move. James responded, but the consequences, legal, emotional, personal, those are still unfolding. Comment below. I'm with you until the end, because when you leave that comment, you're saying more than just that you liked it. You're saying you understand that real protection is complicated, that heroes have flaws, that the system is often an antagonist, not an ally, that surviving is only the first step, living without constant fear is the whole journey. And look, if this touched you in any way, if you felt terror when Marcus appeared in the shadows, anger at a system that prioritizes harm over protection, hope when James chose to stay despite the cost, leave a like so I know, because this engagement isn't an empty metric. It's confirmation that stories like this matter, that they resonate, that they make a difference. And there's a video over here that continues in the same vein, exploring what happens when a confrontation you just witnessed explodes into violence that changes everything for Alina, for James, for Marcus. When protocol meets reality. When decisions made in seconds reverberate for years. Click and follow along there. Why the truth? About men like Marcus. They don't stop until they are stopped. Strength. Finally. Definitely. Is it true about protectors like James? They carry the weight of every decision. Every shot not fired until necessary. Every life saved and every one that arrived too late. Stories that matter never end cleanly. And this, it's far from over. But what's the next chapter? Where everything that's been built, trust, protection, fragile hope is, tested in seconds of violence, that forgive no hesitation. See you there. Because Alina deserves to know how it ends. And you deserve to see it.